play, where you have, as a defense team, you have to go for offense to defend your time, or you have to defend and get your snatch. So it brings much more dynamic into the gameplay. You have much more to think about. Before you go on that breakout wall, you need to know with your team what is your plan, or defending plan, or your offense plan. We have a new clock system, we have a new penalty system, we have a new point system, and that's the difference. And I really want to see this develop this year, and I hope next year we're going to bring this worldwide.
The reffing for this game is kind of hard because the players are moving a lot.
So we're constantly moving, constantly paying attention to 2, 3, 4 players at the same time, checking lanes, seeing where can the next PB come from. You're listening into the call-outs, you're moving accordingly, and it's a lot of physical things to do, but then at the same time your mental has to stay calm.
We have battling, and battling is a new thing where we can get in communication directly with the other refs on the field, and it works perfectly. Normally you have a lot of hiccups, and now in this moment, because you have a direct communication with your head ref and the head ref on the fields with the side refs.
Out, pull him. Yeah, penalty.
Today, yesterday, we have 7 refs. They are split into, let's say, 2 groups. We have the group of the breakout wall refs, so it's 2 refs on either side. They do the breakouts, they stay on the back of the fights. And then we have 3 refs scattered around.
We can communicate real good now. We don't have to run to other refs for confirmation or anything. For example, the head ref, he can see much more because he's a bit higher up and he can direct us. Really helpful to get more overview of the whole gameplay, and communicate for refs is also important as for players.
It's really comfy, just so easy to use, and yeah, I don't know why we didn't use this earlier. It's amazing. It just makes the job way easier.
Hi guys, my name is Jorik. I'm part of the ref team. Together with Jeffrey, I'm one of the head refs for this tournament and for most other tournaments in Europe as well.
I was brought here by Bert, so we can help organize everything and that we can make the tournament a lot of fun for everyone.
We're trying to build this community, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's getting more like a bigger footprint all over Europe, and like other parts of the world are getting interested as well. This tournament here in the Canary Islands is very cool because it brings a lot of cultures together. Like you have a lot of Spanish teams, of course, you have some British teams, Dutch teams, and I think it's awesome that everybody took the time and the effort to like come here to this amazing island.
I really like the approach you guys are taking, and I can really see it going global. And I definitely want to travel everywhere, like to America, to Australia, and everywhere else where it's popping up.
I think a lot of people are very excited to play this new format, playing the 10-minute games. Well, I think this is the very first big tournament on this scale.
I got a lot of arguments with my boss to get here, but I think it's a chance of once in a lifetime, so I wanted to be here.
I like for the community, it's great. We are growing the speeds of and the competition here in Spain, so for me it's perfect.
Three, two, one.
Hey guys, I'm Bert. I'm the owner of the Ritz Arena. For more than 3 years we organized SpeakerB. Well, SpeakerB is a really nice format, but I wanted to get away from the team deathmatch situation. We really want to accept it as a sport, and that's why I brought a board together and we created the NSL, the Nations Speed League. NSL is a new concept with a new format that we launch this weekend.
The most challenging part for me right now is mostly getting the players used to the new format, making sure everybody gets the rules, does the things right.
3, 2, 1.
The players progressing and adapting to this new game. You can see that the refs are also adapting and trying to do the best to get the gameplay the best for the players as well.
What I wanted is more a dynamic gameplay where you have, as a defense team, you have to go for offense to defend your time, or you have to defend and get your snatch. So it brings much more dynamic into the gameplay. You have much more to think about. Before you go on that breakout wall, you need to know with your team what is your plan, or defending plan, or your offense plan. We have a new clock system, we have a new penalty system, we have a new point system, and that's the difference. And I really want to see this develop this year, and I hope next year we're going to bring this worldwide.
The reffing for this game is kind of hard because the players are moving a lot.
So we're constantly moving, constantly paying attention to 2, 3, 4 players at the same time, checking lanes, seeing where can the next BB come from. You're listening into the call outs, you're moving accordingly, and it's a lot of physical things to do, but then at the same time your mental has to stay calm.
We have battling, and battling is a new thing where we can get in communication directly with the other refs on the field, and it works perfectly. Normally you have a lot of hiccups now in this moment because you have a direct communication with your head ref and the head ref on the fields with the side refs.
Out, pull him. Yeah, penalty.
Today, yesterday, we have 7 refs. They are split into, let's say, 2 groups. We have the group of the breakout wall refs, so it's 2 refs on either side. They do the breakouts, they stay on the back of the fights. And then we have 3 refs scattered around.
We can communicate real good now. We don't have to run to other refs for confirmation or anything. For example, the head ref, he can see much more because he's a bit higher up and he can direct us. It's really helpful to get more overview of the whole gameplay, and communicate for refs is also important as for players.
It's really comfy, it's so easy to use, and yeah, I don't know why we didn't use this earlier. It's amazing. It just makes the job way easier.
Hi guys, my name is Jorik. I'm part of the ref team. Together with Jeffrey, I'm one of the head refs for this tournament and for most other tournaments in Europe as well.
I was brought here by Bert, so we can help organize everything and that we can make the tournament a lot of fun for everyone.
We're trying to build this community, and it's going, it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's getting.
Yo. Welcome. Let me see if we have audio, guys. Do we have audio?
Yo guys, can you hear me as well?
Yes, we have audio. So that's one lucky thing. Okay, this is the ritual that I have to do every time. But this time, guys, I was so on time, and I was on my way. I left Mechelen, the store, and 35 minutes I was on my road, and then I get the phone, and it was Jules, and he said, "Bert, do you have my car keys in your pocket?" I said, "Nah." So I have to drive all the way back and drive back, so I lost more than an hour. That's not an excuse, but it's really happened like this. So but first of all, welcome everybody, and welcome Fives. Hey Fives, how you doing?
Yo, what's up?
Sorry for waiting, and sorry seeing me eating.
No problem. I'm used to that now.
Oh yeah, bit by bit, isn't it? It's there. So who we've got right here? Who we see right here? I hope.
Alunk is there, Chaos is there, Zypas there, Niels is there, TTV Junkie is there.
Oh, maybe I need to have my headphone because maybe there is an echo. Is there an echo, guys, or is that not an echo?
Let us know, please.
I hope there is no echo. Guys, just for checking before we're going further, no echo?
Yes,
Okay.
there's echo.
Yes,
No,
echo?
no
No
echo.
echo? No echo? No echo?
Maybe when I talk and
I
just
will
put
do
them
it.
on.
I will do it like this. Okay, no echo. Is there an echo
Now
now?
it should be fine.
I hope so. Echo is on break. Is it better now?
Maybe if I keep speaking.
I hope it's better now. And if it's not better, we have to find a solution.
It should be fine now.
Yeah, no echo now. Okay, great. So, again, guys, welcome to the Friday night breakout edition. Tonight we have some information. We have some information about the European Cup. We have some information about the Global Cup, the minor and the no. How are we gonna say this? It were the major events and the minor events.
Yeah.
And then we have some rules, and then we have some pro div standings. I think that was the.
And you forgot the most important part where the people are waiting for the Nations Cup.
Oh, and the Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with this. Well, Fives, take the word and let's talk about the European Championships and why it's not a European Championships, but it's going to be a European Cup, and why we have to postpone this date.
Okay, are you using the presentation for that, or is it just freestyle now?
There is nothing about the European Cup in there, as I said.
Okay. So yeah, maybe it makes sense to first start with the presentation and with the explanation of the minor and major events we have.
Oh yeah, look at this. There we go. So, can you see them?
Yeah, I see it.
There you go.
So yeah, we thought about the tournament structure of a whole year on our NSL committee, and the issue is that we now have multiple competitions, and all of them are like in a different place with a different amount of teams. Sometimes they are open, sometimes they are closed or limited, and it was like a huge mess. And we wanted to have like a unique setup to also kind of showcase like what is the highest competition and what is maybe not the highest competition. Because if we use the brand NSL from now on, it says something about you and your team if you win stuff. So this needs to be like in a place like in soccer, everyone knows Champions League and FIFA World Cup. Those are the two biggest things you can win as a player or as a team. So we wanted to structure that as well a bit, because we have two leagues going. We have national cups, we have invitationals or open cups in other countries, for example, like the Gran Canaria Cup and everything. So yeah, we wanted to put some structure in that. So we kind of used, or we are using the term major and minor. So all of this are still original NSL tournaments with NSL rules as we know them by now. But obviously there has to be like a kind of ranking in a way. So we thought about a lot and tried to put them into boxes. And the most easiest thing for us was the Pro Division, because this is like an actual league system, and it showcases who is the best team over a whole year. It's not just who is the best team on one weekend, but you have to be stable in your performance over a whole year. So we definitely came to the conclusion, okay, this has to be a major. However, the first div is not a major or a minor because we see it as the qualification for Pro Div. Because we don't know how big Pro Div might get next year, or if it gets smaller, or if it stays. We don't know that because we don't have the experience by now. But it's definitely sure that if you want to play Pro Div next next year, you have to go through the first division and be there in the top spots. That's like guaranteed. So we see first division as a qualification or a staircase to Pro Division. And if you win Pro Division, that's a major for you. Like that's a major win. That's something extremely hard to achieve. And obviously we have globals coming this year, and hopefully they will take place, and hopefully there will be teams from around the world. That would be something I couldn't be more excited about. And we said if you are going there, and there will be certain rules, and I'm not going too much into the globals right now, but if you are able to win on a worldwide stage against teams from every continent, from every country possible, then you like deserve the name best in the world for
Yeah,
sure.
just to go a little bit in there, I think we have to go a little bit long-term thinking, you know, because then it's easier to explain to everybody. So we have a short-term vision and we have a long-term vision. So no, yeah, it's a vision, but it's what we're going to really try to realize. Is like global championships, of course, in the this year will be executed as we wanted to execute it actually in the last 2 years, but Pepsi is already sponsor of the NSL. Don't worry. It's the globals. Our wish is that we have the in America, in Asia, in Australia, we have that, and on the moment, the best teams of those countries, they will represent what in their pro division. So in their pro division, what they're gonna play, and they will represent once in a year the global championships, and that's only once. So that's long term thinking, and this year we're gonna go in there a little bit later. But that's the vision that we have with the global championships, and this year we're gonna play one, but we need to go with a start, and we're gonna start with that that we do the external like America and Eastern, and that we're gonna do it more on an invitational thing, and teams already we had an agreement with that it could come, and for the European, we have our strict way that we're going to do, but we will explain that later from here. But that's the idea. So long term, hopefully in all those countries there will be pro divisions, and the best of the pro divisions will represent in the global championships.
Yes, that's how we wanted to. And this is all team-based, like normal teams. And then obviously we want to lift it to a level never seen before, really, in airsoft, in an active competition. Well, basically, Battle Arena was something like that in a way, where you had nations playing against each other. But as far as BQB and now NSL goes, there was never something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that will be the third pillar of major tournaments. And after this explanation, we will dive a bit into Nations Cup and everything. But as the name said, it will be country versus country. And yeah, you have to play for your country and represent your country. And if you win that tournament, we think this is also, or this also qualifies you as a major win, because in an ideal world, teams from all over the world come together and play and battle it out. So this also means a lot.
Well, and the European Cup will be a major too.
No.
No. Just asking, just for.
Oh yeah. So okay, let's. Now we are coming to the European Championship, because everyone was confused about that as well.
Yeah.
And as I said before, it was not ideal with the new format in NSL developing in such a short period of time, because there were dates out which we can't like fulfill right now. So we decided to first postpone the so-called European Championship, and with or by looking on this table, they are kind of useless, or like there is already the European competition, and that's the Pro Division and the first division for qualification. So we thought, okay, if we host a tournament and we call it just as we used to European Championships, and you win it, but for example, you are a team from first div or a team from no div that's never or is not playing the leagues, where would you put it? Like, would you say, okay, it's as good as the Pro Div winner or not? So we thought both competition have the same idea of showcasing who is the best team in Europe. And because that doesn't make sense, we kind of decided, okay, for us now, the European Championship they don't make sense anymore. However, we like the knockout competitions, and we like that, yeah, there's like a tournament in such as Gran Canaria where teams travel to, where teams can come to, and teams who are not playing in the leagues because they're living a bit more far away can come and experience everything and maybe lift the trophy in the end.
Yeah. So for example, let's say what we can do in the upcoming day, like you say, is the Canary Island Cup. That's a cup. Maybe there will be a French Cup. Maybe there will be a UK Cup, or maybe there will be a Japanese Cup, or maybe there will be an American Cup, etc., etc. These are all official cups, but they are individual cups. Like the minor is not the right word, but it's an individual cup that has nothing to do with the majors. But and the European Cup, because we're going to make the European Championships, we're going to make the European Cup of there, where everybody worldwide can subscribe to, and it's going to be a European Cup where everybody can win that cup, because that's the European Cup. It's the same thing as Formula One. If you go to Brazil or there, you win the Brazilian Cup, or you win the Abu Dhabi Cup, etc., etc. And I think this is more laid in the sport, how we want to create this in the sport. And so yeah, that's a little bit all together, and how we see the future in the cups, because cups and championships, that's a big difference. And we hope we can organize a lot of cups. You know, we really hope. But it's very nice that we really can go into a country and say, okay, now we're going to play a specific cup, and when there is a country is interested into organizing a cup, we can do that for every country, on, of course, in the same rules as we do here. But yeah, there are many possibilities for this. But to go to European Championships that we had on now, we had to postpone for a few reasons. And the most important reason, Fives, correct me if I'm wrong, was that we just executed, actually 2 weeks ago, we executed the first NSL. And next month, the European would actually start it. So to organize something what not everybody was used to, etc., etc., it would not be a logical way to organize it. And I understood it. And we discussed it with the whole board, and we came to the conclusion that we will postpone it to November, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th of November. It will be the European Cup, and will be played. So for everybody, you will get a mail. It will be sent to you with the exact dates. So the European Championships for this year in May will be postponed for the 5th and the 6th of November, and it will be the European Cup.
Yes.
Is that correct?
This is 100% correct. So again, don't get us wrong. A minor event doesn't mean like it has no value to it, but it's just not in the super strict structure, which we are aiming for to get at least in pro and first div, and also at the global. So this is just like if you still win it, you still have something to show off, but it's just not the most important event of the year. And hopefully, and Bert like scratched on it, there will be a lot of cups everywhere around the world, and everyone is able to or is invited to go there and play. So it's open signing or open sign up basically. And yeah, we had one at Gran Canaria. Now we are having one in Real Strike, which is awesome because then teams, for example, the Spanish teams or maybe some Italian teams or teams from other parts of the world can come and visit and experience the Real Strike as it is. But it's not like the super strict structure of the leagues or something.
Yeah.
Who knows where other cups might be hosted this year?
Exactly. Well, we are busy with some, and well, I'm flying normally next week, and one of those cups will. The possibility now is it's going to be in the States, and that will be the first one where we could organize an open NSL Cup. And welcome back, Kenny. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, if you play the NSL rules, why not the first paintball cup? That's up to you. Come to me and organize it. We'll do it. So it's yeah, for us that's actually the structure that we want to give to all the teams and all actually everybody who's watching and players. That the NSL will structure this in majors. And in yeah, minors, we need to find a different word because I always think minors is a negative thing in that, because winning a cup like that and you're on the States, you're winning the USA Cup is not a minor thing; it's a big thing. But
that's what I'm saying. So it's
yeah.
not like negatively reward.
Yeah, we couldn't find a different word.
And yeah, it's been used in other sports, so we just took it. But yeah, it's not just a random speed soft tournament on a shitty field. No, it's still the NSL standards, and it's still a big cup. And if you travel somewhere and you win it, actually, that's like a huge achievement. But it's not like if you win globals, that's even like a little bit higher. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So that's a bit more difficult, which doesn't say the other one is easy.
Nope. So that's
the whole point.
That's the things. And yeah, let's go. Shall we go to the rules?
One addition, really quick, because it's on the table that people can see right now. Minus also the so-called national championships. For example, as you might know, we had German championships last year in the Real Strike Arena. This would be a minor as well, because not every country is like developed, or the scene is not developed equally around the countries. So some countries have like competition and others don't. But because there's not 100% structure in it now, because it's still a growing sport, we decided, okay, it's cool when we have those events.
Yeah.
But they are still not like on the highest level yet. So
no, but it's for next year, I think, when people see what's happening here. So for the future, and it starts maybe from next year, if Spain or France or again Australia, or it doesn't matter what country, wants to organize their national championships, that's going to be a part two, that the national champions and the pro division champions will be a part of the global champions actually on the end. And that's so we yeah that's a vision, that's a focus. I see our Lung is giving really good questions. Is like, what requirements do you earn to name the name of NSL? Well, first of all, contact us. Second of all, play the same rules, and overall it has to be the same rules. And when we do the open NSL Cups, and it's organized by NSL, we are definitely gonna bring the whole team, like the Zebras, of course. The Zebras will be going there, but the national championships and the national leagues will be organized by the organizer in the country himself. But the cups will be organized by NSL itself, and we try to bring as much of our team over there to make it a total event. Good.
Also, something you just mentioned with the dates of the European Cup, people might notice that it's actually 3 days, and there's a reason behind it. Normally, it was only 2 days. For example, like DreamHack or every other tournament after that was only 2 days. And also the Canary Island Cup was only 2 days, and everyone who was there or was watching it figured out that it was pretty long, and it was like 10 to 12 hours a day. So we spent a lot of time thinking about how we structure a tournament with the rule sets we have and get like a group stage going plus a knockout stage because it's a knockout tournament. But still make sure that everyone who's participating plays at least like a certain amount of games. And it's really, or it sounds maybe easy, but it's really hard because the actual play time consumes so much of a day that we said, okay, we have to put every knockout tournament into a 3 days format. It's firstly to save like enough time so we are not hustling at midnight at the arena to finish the tournament, but it's also super important that the refs, especially the refs, get enough rest in between games and also have a good recovery time from day to day. The teams are not playing like the whole day long, so they should be fine with the recovery time, but it's mostly on the ref team and also the people working around the field that, yeah, we thought it's the best solution to give it on a 3 day tournament. And the idea behind it is as well, it's a special event, no matter if it's just a open cup somewhere or at the Real Struck Arena, or if it's Nations Cup, or if it's Global Scope, it might be even longer. It's okay to, like, most people are able to get off work on that Friday and can ask for that early enough in the year to get a day of holiday. So it's not like the regular events, but like once or twice a year, this has to be possible. And yeah, the advantages of that are just so important that we couldn't do it another way. So that's why there will be from now on 3 days planned. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, it's everything. Again, yeah, sorry people, there may be some typo in there. We couldn't check it. I'm sorry. Go book. But it's so it's not championships, but it's championships. I know it. So, and there are some events. There a T belongs in there. So I was sorry, but it was a hush, and there was no time for checking. Our excuses for that. Yeah, that's that's actually all the things that we're trying to get there, but we will talk more and more about this. So it's going to be logical for a lot of people, and I really think that people can, as I said, I say it the whole time, if you dig it, you're gonna grind it, and yeah, I'm gonna welcome some people who are there too. Hyperscream, Vinny, I saw Keanu, I saw Junkie, I saw Kenny, Alum Tacos, my boy, how you doing? Rex, well, welcome everybody. Chaos, Team Chaos is there. So yeah, if you missed anything that we said, just look back later, and you will see it on the YouTube channels of the NSL Sports and on the Breakout. Then we go to the rules. Well, for the I leave the word up to you, my friend.
Oh, so yeah, it's not actually the rules, but more the structure of a tournament.
Now we go to the Nations Cup, because the most people are now watching what is going to happen with the Nations Cup. So first of all, everything we talked about before was all in team, um, as a team. So global championships, you win it as a team, and I mean as a team like ATSB, like a team like the Plague Doctors or Second to None or Reapers, as a team. This is the Nations Cup, and the Nations Cup, you're not gonna play that as a team. That's a formation team where you play with it in the Pro Division. So it's a team that's gonna. You have to create yourself with some rules. And I saw already one questions in there is who is gonna decide what players or teams are gonna be in there. Well, one thing, not us, because this is a nation thing. You know, this is something we give the um, we're gonna give the platform and we're gonna organize it, but the nations or the countries have to figure out themselves who's gonna be their coach or coaches, and who are gonna be their players or etc. etc. The only thing that we're doing now is facilitating the platform, and we're gonna say the rules that needs to be done in there. So how does it work?
Yeah, so basically it will be a 3 days event, just as I said, because it's a knockout tournament. There will be a group stage, and there will obviously be a knockout stage to find out who is the best nation in NSL. And it has a maximum of 18 teams. We are really hoping that we can get 18 nations together this year, but even if there are less, we will play it. And there are like certain numbers, then we play double or something like this. So it will 100% take place, and we expect still a lot of nations, and we hope for 18. But 18 is the maximum. So who comes first is in luck there. And we want to like encourage teams from all over the world to go there. But we also know that there will be countries almost guaranteed in, and those countries are highlighted there with the flags. And I will come back on that. Why we think those countries needs to be highlighted with a certain rule. But yeah, overall the idea is to get everyone from the world together. So we're hoping for Japan, for Brazil, for America, for every country that's actually playing like Speedsoft and Speedsoft tournaments, that they can fix a team. But
Yeah.
we all know that there are certain nations, for example, the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Germany, and others, which are kind of close by on a global scheme, that they will be there 100% guaranteed. And those countries already have a big community, or bigger community than other countries might have. So we said, okay, because those nations and those players are more experienced, are already in a league structure somehow, and there are a lot of good teams with good players on it. There has to be a rule in place that it's not just, okay, we put, for example, I don't know, Team Chaos for the Dutch team in, and then they just play under the Dutch flag, because we think it's interesting to see players who are normally not playing together as a team on that tournament. But on the other hand, there are teams, for example, like Brazil, which would be a huge commitment for them to come, and we are really hoping that they are able to come. But there might be just a couple of teams or just one team who's dedicated enough to take that journey. So we said we can't punish those teams with a perhaps smaller community when they have to select only 3 players from their team. So they could technically come as one team, play for example, for Brazil. But the countries you see there, also Spain, Italy, the UK, and the United States are there because all of those countries have proven in the past that they have huge communities and enough players where they can get a mixed team together. And for those countries, they are only allowed to have 3 players per normal team. So, for example, ATSB can only put in 3 German players or 3 Belgian players or whatever, and that's like the same for every team from those countries.
Yeah, it's why did we do it? Because we only know like European, and we know um, like the community in the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Spain, France, America, England, and Italy. They are bigger, so they definitely can create a team of 12 from different teams. So what we didn't want is for the teams that we all know that we're gonna get a team of one normally team like ATSB, that there are 7 players from ATSB in there. We want to give it. We really want to make it nation thing. So, but it's not up to us, guys. It's up to you who's going to be in there. Yeah. So, this is just like, okay, connect some team players or connect some team captains. I mean, and connect with them and see how it's going to work. Um, we can give some advice, as I said. Well, if you want to play it, maybe you can do it on a 1v1, who's going to be the best player to get into the team, etc., etc. Or maybe it's not necessary and you just decided yourself. It's up to you. It's not up to us. We just facilitate and and try to make the best weekend for a Nations Cup. And I think you have to represent your nation, and that's really something really cool. I think, and playing with different players. And I know that there are some countries who has no problems to create those 12 players, but there are some countries who maybe like Brazil, as you said, or like
Switzerland. I mean, they have a small
Switzerland. Yeah,
community, but not like a ton of players yet. So it
yeah,
would be super hard for them just having 2 or 3 committed teams, and then they can't even reach the 12 players just because there are no other teams where they can get players from.
exactly. And that's why these flags are there. We know with these flags you easily can make a team with more members of different teams. But all the flags who are not in there, and let's say Latvia or let's say Switzerland or Austria or
Poland,
anything,
Denmark,
Poland, South
whatever.
Africa, etc., etc. Of course, you are allowed to create that team without the conditions that's up there. That's up there. So yeah, and um, I really hope this is gonna be a major thing, something really great. And to be honest, I saw a question how you're gonna do this with 18 teams. Well, Alunk is already explaining a lot of all these questions. That's cool. So it's gonna be 3 groups of 6. These will always be in this formats when it's the global championships or it's these things. It's gonna be 3 groups of 6. You play 5 times on over 3 days. On Friday and on Saturday you do your round robin days, and the good thing about it is how we look now is that you have a morning group, you have a early afternoon and an afternoon, a late afternoon shift. So in the morning you play your 2 or 3 rounds. You play actually after each other, so you don't have to wait. The waiting time is really nothing because it's just 50 minutes and you go up to the next round. So you play them. When they are finished, you're finished. You can go or you can stay. Then the second group will come. The second groups will come from a different pool, and then after them the third one will come. The days after we do two rounds, and then we have the full Sunday we have for the champion or for the final rounds. Yeah, for the final rounds.
Also, it will be a single elimination, just
Yep.
as we had it in Gran Canaria, because it makes or it heats up the fights on the field a bit more. Because even if you are a favorite, you have to do it every game. If you are not capable of doing that, there's a high chance of you getting knocked out and not coming back. So we think that's actually like a nice thing, and it will increases the tension, and also like weaker teams that have a good day can beat big teams and get away with that. So yeah, that's like really something we think will improve the spiciness of the games and of some matches.
Definitely, because what we saw in the first weekend was actually we did two rounds on the Pro Division, and we really saw how hard it's going to be, and you definitely can do it, but the waiting time was killing. The waiting time was killing, and on this way, you play your 3 games that day or your 2 games that day, and on Saturday too, and then on Saturday you are finished, and then you can full focus on the Sunday. The Sunday is not going to be at 9 o'clock in the morning, but it will start a little bit later. We're going to have more fun around there and more organized, and then interviews, etc., and then the finals will start. Single elimination final, and it's going to be the best 8. So the best 3 of each group will pass, and then the number 3, the best number 3s of all the 3 groups will go through too.
So basically number 1 and 2 of each group are saved through, and then you have the 2 best number 3s of the groups who will go through. So they will like do a ranking within themselves, and the 2 best will advance to the Sunday as well.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the Nation Cup, and I'm really looking forward. The tickets will be open next week, so they will be online next week. And for any information, guys, listen again. Team captains or teams, are you interested? Get in contact with each other. Try to figure it out. And of course there will be a lot of I don't know what, but try to figure it out. And if you have too many people who are interested in that, make a small qualification league for yourself. Make something where people have to qualify to be in the Dutch, Belgian, French, German, Spanish team. It's all up to you guys. So because it would not be fair if we have to do that, because like if you look at the soccer, I mean, the UEFA is not going to say who's going to play in these teams. It's up to the countries themselves. And yes, it will be hard in the beginning, but it's actually easy and professional, and that you guys just taking that responsibility and make an amazing team. Yeah.
Also, what's important to say is, and something you definitely should start working on now, because it sometimes takes a bit more time, are equal jerseys. So you can't play with like random jerseys. You have to have a team jersey. I mean, it doesn't has to be the best looking jersey. That's totally up to you.
I know you represent your country. You have to have a German jersey. You have a Dutch jersey, a Spanish jersey. Represent your country. I mean, that's amazing, and you will definitely find a sponsor for that if you're representing your country, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, you are allowed to come there with 12 players, Vinitas. That's basically the same rule for every NSL tournament from now on. And you can also bring more people, but obviously they can't play. But they can help with max, or you can have a coach or 2 coaches there. So this is all not included in the 12.
So, for everybody again, if there are any questions, you can always shoot us or shoot a message to Real Strike, or shoot a message to NSL, or to Fives, or to me, and we will see. We definitely going to help you and advise you what the possibilities are. But it starts with the I think the team captains who really wants to play with each other, and then I'm looking forward to who's going to be a coach of something. I think we have one coach already. I think Vinny is going to be the coach of Spain. It looks like he's going to be the coach of Spain, but
it would be awesome to see him back.
Yeah. Then I saw a question upstairs. Does the American people know the dates for the American? No. We have a date in mind where we're talking about now. It's going to be the weekend of the
2nd, 2nd and 3rd July.
Yeah, 1st, 2nd and 3rd of July. This year. but I have to fly over to make everything, to confirm everything. So it's not 100% confirmed, but this date is an option, and I hope next week we can finalize that. So for everybody who is waiting for that, next week we know for 100% sure.
So the Nations Cup will be hosted in Real Strike in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
The maybe US Cup will be hosted in the US, obviously. So just to separate those things. And the European Cup, by the end of the year in November, will also be held in the Real Strike Arena. Just that everyone knows that, because it's like a peacock a bit.
Yeah, we choose for that because the arena is there. We know everything there as a first year, and hopefully we can travel this after this year. We can travel it from country to country, and maybe what country wins, maybe it's organize the next globals or Nations Cup. I mean, everything is possible in there. So yeah, that was the Nation Cup. So any questions? Just shoot here in the chat, and we will give you the answers on your questions as good as possible. It needs to be someone who's neutral to be. Yeah. Again, that's why you're talking about. That's where you guys need to communicate. Then 2 weeks ago we had the first Pro Division. Aaron, I didn't ask you yet, but I'm going to ask you right now. What was your experience and your feeling when you were there? Not that, because the first day you were
Yeah,
not there.
Was positive, so I had to watch my team. That was not good. I'm not talking about that. That was just 3 points for others. But second day we played, and we played a bit better. No, but overall, I really like it. I mean, it was exactly how we planned, how it should be. Obviously, on the first day we had some buzzer issues, and I mean that's always something that can happen. But on the second day, the buzzer timing was perfect. It was still possible to snatch the flag or to hang the flag after the other team buzzer, but it was not easy. Like, you had to be super aware of what's happening, where the flag is, where you are. But it was not like, it was the perfect balance. And I think we landed on the perfect buzzer time, at least for now. And with that, the games got way better, and also the teams, like, you could clearly see that all the teams got better and like started to really understand the game. And there are still some players left who are not searching for the flag when the buzzer is there, or not sprinting to hang the flag. But we saw like I saw a lot of improvement just after day one. And next week I believe there's first div, right? Is it next week?
Next weekend is first div, yeah.
Yeah, I think we will see exactly the same happening. Big confusion in the beginning, but over the second day probably there will be more structure in the games. And yeah, it's a new format for everyone. Like, no one really played it before. But if the teams start like training now, and they have to train now, everything will be on a higher level in a few weeks, few months.
Yeah, I already said it on the German NSL channel on Wednesday. It was, I think. Yeah, it was on Wednesday. It was amazing. You know, I really enjoyed that weekend, and I really was happy that on Sunday, 80%, 90% of the teams definitely knew what we're trying to do and how to build it, and where we want to go with this in the future. And on Saturday, you saw all those little those little mistakes, those little mind fucks in their head, like, oh shit, and you saw people killing people and not gathering points, staying behind or staying too close. And on the end, on Sunday, it was really, it was, for some teams, it was like eureka, you know. It was like, I spoke to people and who said, I was watching Saturday, but I didn't understood anything. I mean, I couldn't get in it. But then on Sunday, and with the commentary and everything there, then people saw it. They saw what happened, and they saw what we actually, where we want to go with this, and I think after one weekend, you will be there. After one weekend, you will be there.
Yeah, I mean, also with BQB, we had like here 3 years of experience and like full of tournaments. Even in COVID times, we had tournaments, and this showed on the level everyone was playing at. But now it's like a fresh start. Everyone kind of starts at zero. Still, everyone knows how to break out and how to shoot a gun and everything, but new format and new layout. That's a lot of new stuff for teams. And
Yeah.
yeah, as soon as teams really start to practice and to get a bit more experience, we will see way better plays and like super high intensity games.
I'm and I think that this weekend, next weekend, I'm sorry, next week with the first division, I just want to give some advices to teams who are coming, because I said it on the German channel too. Guys, just be careful. It's a really intense game, and just don't go in there, because the game asks actually a lot of you, and you really want to go for it because you are really in emotion. But please take care of your slides. Take care that you know how to slide. Take care of don't just jump over bunkers. Don't think about it, because you can injure yourself really bad. Like last Sunday, it's a pity, but last Sunday there was a training from SON and another German, and somebody who was there for the first time, he didn't know how to slide, and actually that's the story I heard, and he went into the U, and he broke his upper arm, and he was for 4 hours in the hospital to fix it. So please be careful. Yeah, everybody from the first division, test it. Yeah, and because after the game, you need to go to work. You want to go. You want to do your normally things, and you don't want to sit at home when the holidays times are coming. So just don't be don't be a hero. Don't be a Superman or something. You can do Supermans, but train the Superman jumps. That's just an advice. So on Saturday you were not there, but on Sunday you came. What was your mission on Saturday? What was your mission on Saturday? I mean, I have a picture. I have a picture. Not a picture. I had a message from you. I said, "So are you there?" Of course I'm there. Somebody needs to lead these pannenkoeken, pancakes. Tell me.
Yeah, well, as I said before, I was still positive on Saturday or in the morning, and so I couldn't be there. But I was obviously watching the stream, and yeah, I'm the team captain and like the mind on the team on the field. So it was the first tournament basically with ATSB where I wasn't there, and new format, new field, and me not being there was pretty big of an impact for the team actually. And Rex was my co-captain that day, or like he took over the captain job, and he had his whole mind focused on that job, and he was super busy with doing it and trying everything else, trying his best to manage everything else. Um, but yeah, on the field, it was not a good of a performance. Obviously, we played against two strong teams, Chaos and Second to None, but that can't be an excuse, basically. And I was trying to get in touch with the guys over phone, but they were so focused on what they are doing that they actually forgot to kind of call me or call me back during the first game. So I called Jan from the Reapers and I said, "Do me a favor, bring your phone in our locker room." But then we spoke for like 30 seconds. They had to play around and they cut off the call again. And I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I see the stream and I can give you some advice, but yeah, that was not a nice experience. Also, me going crazy, can't really doing anything about it in my apartment. But luckily, I was there on Sunday, and yeah, tried my best to stable the team, and yeah, we did okayish. Still, we need to work hard, but yeah, it was not.
I know one thing. On Saturday there were 0 points, and
Yeah, I know, I
and
know.
on Sunday you won both of them.
Yeah,
So do you think? I mean, as I said, I said it the whole time. This this sport needs to be coached. You know, this sport needs a structure. When you as a team, again, advice for next weekend. Don't go to that wall, and don't think we're gonna decide on that wall. I'm going left. I'm going to right, because it's not working like that anymore. You know,
no, it
and
wasn't even before, but now it's even harder. Like
mhm.
you need to have a game plan in mind for that exact round. And based on the outcome of the round, you need to adjust your strategy. Maybe you have to attack as defenders, maybe you have to defend as attackers. This all changed by round. And like you constantly have to adapt, and also the other team is doing that, and we saw good adjustments. Sometimes teams were playing with 3 or 4 kappas, and sometimes not. Like this is like a clear message of what will happen the round in the next round. So it's not just having a base strategy and doing it 10 out of 10 times. That's not working.
Mhm. It's what do you think that the first division can looking forward to this upcoming weekend? What is your advice for them?
Well, they have the luxury basically of having at least one Pro Div event played. So I would advise them to watch the first stream or parts of the first stream, and then in contrast watch the second day of the stream, because as we said before, there are huge improvements and like understanding of the game. And also make sure that every member of your team, not just you as a captain maybe, but that every member understands the game. And I did with my boys, I wrote down like 20 questions. What happens or what are you doing in this situation? For example, we are leading, we are attacking. Should you push and suicide with the flag, or should you stay? Like something like this. And then they had to give me an answer and like a bit of a homework test. But I think this triggers like a schoolish way of learning, because I had the experience. If you just say, okay, here are the rules, read them, understand them, there are people in this world who are just reading through it and not really understanding it. And you have to really make sure, that's what I mean with making sure that your guys know what's up in every situation. Because if you think, okay, we can chill, but you're running out of time, you are losing the game, and then you are gaining nothing from it. So that's like the most important thing for now, I would say.
Yeah, the only advice I can give them, and that's maybe the best advice, make a planning and plan a meeting on Wednesday. Give everybody today a copy of the rules and let them read all of them, and over ask them on Wednesday. Just threw some questions in there as a captain, or as a team coach or a team captain. So you know they understand the rules, so you know they understand the game, because I think this belongs to the sport. You know, you need to be prepared before you go there. So just give them, just tell them, okay, here are the rules. Next Wednesday we have a meeting, and then we're going to go through some questions. And because we want to be prepared, because when you're not being prepared on that field, you will see you will get punished for nothing. You will losing points for nothing. Um, you well, penalties. I mean, let's be honest. The penalties, they are not soft. That I mean, the penalty
They are
structure is.
crazy. I mean, we got a first degree in one game,
Mhm.
and first we had like the upper hand, but getting this penalty changed everything for us. And now it was an open play, and it can happen to everyone basically in every second in a way. So you are not, or you're never 100% safe, but if you are getting caught with it, like the measurements against you, they are crazy and they will hurt your team. And if it's like the most important player on your team, then your team has a problem.
Yeah.
or if that player knows a certain tactic and he's the only one who can do it, and he's out for a round, then your team has a problem. So that's all the stuff that can come up and will come up at some point to everyone that you have to overcome. And yeah, the penalty system is great. I love it. I think it works super good. The punishment is real, like at least we could feel it. And I think so will other teams.
As you said, I mean, a first degree is not just sitting out free. It's not just sitting out free breakouts. No, it's worse. You know, you have to watch, and then after that, you cannot finish that game anymore, and you can't play the game after.
Yeah,
So when it
that's
happens on
correct.
when it happens on Saturday morning, you're already out for Saturday, the whole Saturday. You can start on Sunday, or you know, it's like take it, get in the rules, dig the rules, try to understand them because it's really important. And then the other thing, how to score points. How can I score points? How do I? What is a flag hang? What is a snatch? How do we focus us on a snatch as a defending team, or how do we try to gather as many points as an offense team in the first, second, or third zone? You know, and you really saw this in the pro div. So maybe it's good now. We make some stats to show because we talked about it, but we never showed it. Um, we have some pro div standings. Maybe we can see it right there, but I can't. Can I scroll in there? Yeah, I can scroll. Um, so what you see is the leading points. That's the points you score because when you play the 15 minutes and you have, let's say it's 50, 40, the one with 50 points earns 3 points, and these are the leading points. So second to none shares actually the same points as leading points with RMV, but next to that, the points they gathered in all the games they played together, so with the hangs, it's 164.
Okay, you are talking now about the tiebreakers, and this standing is not 100% accurate yet. I mean, the league points are accurate,
Yeah.
and also the points scored, points conceded, and everything that's accurate. Um, but the first tiebreaker, if you are equal on league points, is the direct comparison.
Yeah.
And we chose that because some teams might drop out this season because we are still like in development of the sport, and that is a thing that can happen. So we decided, okay, the direct comparison is or should be in this case like higher rewarded. But right now we only played 4 games out of 22. So there are a lot of teams who not played against each other with the same number of league points. So as it is right now, there's the tiebreaker with the points scored, but actually the points difference, which means you um, divide the points scored by or not divide, but you take the points scored and the points conceded and mix them together, then you get the points difference. Because like a defensive team is able or is not able to score a lot of points, but they are able to deny a lot of points. So the points difference is actually the third or the second tiebreaker if you are equal on points with a team and haven't played with each other yet, or if, for example, you win first leg against the team and then they beat you in the second leg. So that's the tiebreaker there.
Yeah. So yeah, where you go to these things again, the league points. Sorry, yeah, that's for. And this is standing now. We're gonna gather more and more and more and more of these leaderboards in the future, and we go more individual, like a player who has the most snatches, who has the most hangs, etc., etc. And as you see, and now they put PC and PD in there. I think this is something that Dion and Harold did. I need to be.
Yeah, I already spoke with them.
Yeah.
Like right now it says the long, like this is all the data is correct in there.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not correct is that the direct comparison between teams is not respected. So this will change for now, but obviously over the time, teams will have different numbers of league points. And also on the right, there it says like in golden letters PDS, that means points scored.
Yeah.
This needs to be changed with points difference, because the points difference is that what matters, and the point difference consists out of the points scored and the points conceded. So
Okay.
points conceded is the first silver number, that's points conceded. So second to none, the teams were only able to score 14 points against second to none, which is crazy. And then the H and the S stands for hang and snatch, obviously,
Yeah.
which is all super cool or super cool data in my eyes,
Yeah.
where you can really see, okay, this team is defensive as fuck, or this team is aggressive as fuck, or this team can do both. So yeah, I like data of sports, and I think this
Yeah, but
would
because why we do this on this moment is we talked about this, the PC and the PD. Now I know it. As I said, I just came in late. I didn't saw this this thing, but we want to get more and more and more and more of these data, because even when you're third or when you're ninth or first or 12th, you still can have things, okay guys, but we still want to have the most hangs, or we still want to have, and on the end of the year there will be prizes on there, you know, there will be some extra prizes to win for that. But data, people like data, you know, when you go to the States, everything is data. It's data in basketball, it's data in baseball and football and everything.
every
And
sport, yeah.
it's in every, and in Formula One the same. And I think now it's, well, soccer too, because you know, he did so many hat tricks, or he did so many goals, or everything, and we want to make this sport the same. So it's going to be very, very important that we're going to do the team data and the personal data, the player data, the individual data, to make it as interested as we can. As you see, like the hangs is the age, 19 hangs, 13 hangs, 12 hangs, 10 hangs. And what you really see here is I want to say that again, because the Saviors, they didn't score anything, no points. But actually they didn't have that, they really gave her a lot of points, you know, hanging points. But they just couldn't make it to make the league points. And so this is good to focus on where did we lost it, where do we need to train on. But if you see, they had 8 hangs. I mean, if you look, only the
They
third
also
place.
scored a lot of points, like they scored 67 points, which is like, let me see,
Yeah,
like at least fifth place.
Fifth place, yeah, but
They are on 11th place.
go to the hangs. Look at there. They had the same hangs as the Reapers, 8 hangs, and they had 5 the same snatches as Chaos, but they couldn't make it turn it to a win, and that's the focus, you know. And we already talked about it on the German channel. That, yeah, Tom said it, you know, they were too much focused on defense, and that way they could score. But if they were a little bit more aggressive in offense, they maybe could gather more points, because they are actually, from an original way, they are a defensive team. But the good thing about it is now you have something you can look at, you know. Now you have something like the Saviors is, other teams scored 122 points against them. So that's something where you have to work on, you know. So the most teams gathered the most points from the Saviors, and that's the focus. So with all this data, that's
I mean, it's the same story for us.
yeah.
We conceded the second most points, and that's like the issue in our game right now. And with this data, I mean, it's not huge data, but it's more than we ever had before.
Yeah.
We can put the finger on the issue and say, okay, we did good in attacking, but we really lost it. Like, we conceded way too many points against us.
Yeah.
That was way too easy.
Yep.
apparently. So yeah, we can work on that, and like this is super awesome, and this only gets, as you said, extended in the future, and then there will be probably more player stats as well. I mean, I love that. That is next level to me.
Well, this is where we want to bring it to. I mean, again, it's like it was Monday, no, Monday or Tuesday when we had a board meeting. It was Tuesday. Was it
Yeah,
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. It was 12 o'clock again, almost. I think 11:30 or 12 o'clock. But every time when we're talking there, and all those new ideas who came up there. I mean, like now today we can talk after a meeting again. We can inform people 100% how we're gonna do a Nation Cup, how we're gonna do that, and that's amazing, guys. That's something where I only could dream of, but now in this moment we're just executing it, and that board is amazing. I mean, we're not always agreeing, and that's the good thing about it, you know.
Yeah, that's where we have it basically.
Yeah, so we're not always agreeing, but we decide as a team, we decide as a group, and we can say it's a democratic, it's always a democratic decision, but it's always for the sport. It's always for the sport.
One thing, I'm just looking at the standings. One thing, but Herald also already knows that games played should be in there as well. So you can say, okay, this is the beginning of the season. Then you get a table after the second event and have like 10 games played. So you can see like the progression.
Yeah,
But
how many tries did I need to gather these points? That's it.
I'm talking about how many matches I played with in total. So we
Okay,
had
okay, yeah.
two matches on Saturday, two matches on Sunday, but next time it will be six. So that this is represented as well. So you know, okay, it's early in the season, nothing to worry about, or maybe it's late in the season, we should start getting some points on the board.
And then again, maybe that's a good one. And then from the other side, Krupuk, this is an extra thing that we need to have in there. Like how many tries you had to gather these points. So I made this, let's say, those 180 or 79 or 164 points in 3 tries, 6 tries, or 10 tries. That's information too, because then you see, and we need to see how many hangs we had in the form. Like, did we have a 12-point hangs, 11-point hangs, or a 10-point hangs? You know, it's we did it in the first try, second try, or the third try, and that's all data, man. That's all data.
Yeah,
Where
I
you,
can't wait to get my hands on those because I'm a data freak when
yeah,
it comes to.
but you really can focus your training on that. You know, you really can say in the next weekend, with analyzing these data, you can say, okay, guys, we need to go this way and that way. We need to get it there and there, and this is actually the representation of that weekend you played, and you have to figure out where you lost it and where you have to go for it. So yeah, really like it too. Well, if there are more questions, oh no, one more thing we need to talk about. That's not, we don't talk about it, but we said it, we're going to announce it, because a lot of people are going to say now, okay, so the European Championships from May, they are gone. Yes, listen, there is not an event planned yet, but we have a cool idea. We actually want to drop it right here and listen to your reaction, and take it with us into the board and talk about it. But we already had, with 3 people in the board, we had a small chat of what would be great in organizing a thing, and this is especially to generate new young players into the sport, and people, and not maybe only young players, but from the first division and from the pro division too. So everybody is welcome. But what the idea is this: on the moment we were it was 5, and it was Jan, I think, and then it came up, and I think I said to myself that it would be cool if we have something with coaches. So the idea now, what we have, is that we're going to make teams, but the teams are actually a coach, and players will be connected to a coach. So it can be like you sign up for Coach Aaron, or you can sign up for Coach Junkie, or you can sign up for Coach Chiefs, or you can every only from the pro division, yeah. And with that, um, we're gonna actually create a tournament, and you're not allowed, of course, except one or maybe two players from that same team. But what we want is to combine players and that you learn, and yeah, that coaches are gonna be responsible for that tournament, and they're actually gonna create a team, and it's not gonna be ATSB or RMV or Reapers or Chaos or Seven Sins or ATSB or second. No, it's gonna be it's just gonna be
Yeah, mixed teams. So the idea where like we were speaking of, okay, but there's a weekend planned and no, there is no tournament, and let's do something to get like newer teams or players, especially into it, because everything is new. And yes, the pro division is also just at the beginning, but those players at pro division mostly have a bit more experience, and also on general things like communication, how to break out, and all that basic stuff, combined with the NSL format, that we said, okay, let's create something like in the big past we had Meet QB for Speed QB, which was good back then, but now it needs a bit more structure because the format is a bit more complex. So we ended up with this idea to have like mixed teams which can compete against each other, or maybe first train a bit and then on the second day compete against each other. It's not set in stone yet.
Nope.
It's more like now getting a reaction from you, and you can also think about it, or if you have an idea, just let us know. But we definitely want to do something.
And it's going to be a
Yeah,
fun tournament too. You know, it's going to be
yeah,
fun. There will be we want to make it more like you come there. It's going to be a fun barbecue after there. It's going to be some music there, and we're really going to make a really cool weekend of that. And it's going to be, of course, hard fight is fight. You know, but if you're you, you have to come there to learn something and to get introduced, and maybe to other teams, but for yourself, if you say like, hey, I want to know what NSL is and I want to play the game, but I don't know how, just come, just sign up with a coach and just see what it is. But because they coach as they are their own team, so that's the coolest thing. So actually you play in the name of. So yeah, let's see what we can do with this, and it's just an idea, and it will be a nice
yeah,
day.
coming together as a community, and also like developing the game of NSL
Yeah.
and showing it to everyone, but also get like some pro guidance, because if you're totally new, I can think of that you might be happy if someone more experienced take you by the hand. And it's also great to scout new players for teams. So you definitely want to have players of your team there. And yeah, in the end, it's just like playing and getting more game time under your belt, and have a nice weekend with the community. As Bert said, there will be a barbecue and nice chilling in the evening. Also, the weather hopefully will be better. So I
Next week,
think,
next
yeah,
week we have a meeting about this in the board, because we decided we just had a rough thing with three of these people, so we're gonna bring it into the board, and next week we have more information for that, and who knows, maybe next week Friday we have everything complete and we can advise you, and so you can sign up, and we will see you there in May. Well, for me
so
this
yeah,
was it.
will be the not the last, but the weekend before the last weekend of May,
Yeah, the 20. Let me see.
first and the 22nd of May.
Yeah, 21st and 22nd of May. Yeah. Well, I see every time I see Vinny say, I will be there too. I will be there. I think Vinny is gonna fly over every month. I think so. Vinny, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Cabron.
will be
It's we, on that moment I don't have to drive, so we can have a drink right here, you know. But not the day we have to play. Don't forget that. Huh? Only after the games. Only after the games, my friend. So yeah, nothing more, nothing there. I think it's it was a good and complete informational breakout. Faiz, I want to thank you again, and
Thanks
I
for
think
being.
yeah, and I hope everybody understood what we did. We will send you some extra email. All the information for next weekend will be sent to the team captain's WhatsApp as soon as possible for next week, opening date, how late the gates are open, etc., etc. And for the rest, I wish everybody a very, very, very good night, and stay safe, stay healthy, and hope to see you soon. Thanks.
See ya.
Three, two, one.
Hey guys, I'm Bert. I'm the owner of the Resort Arena. For more than 3 years, we organized SpeakQB. Well, SpeakQB is a really nice format, but I wanted to get away from the team deathmatch situation. We really want to accept it as a sport, and that's why I brought a board together and we created the NSL, the Nations Speed League. NSL is a new concept with a new format that we launch this weekend.
The most challenging part for me right now is mostly getting the players used to the new format, making sure everybody gets the rules, does the things right.
3, 2, 1.
The players progressing and adapting to this new game. You can see that the refs are also adapting and trying to do the best to get the gameplay the best for the players as well.
What I wanted is more a dynamic gameplay where you have, as a defense team, you have to go for offense to defend your time, or you have to defend and get your snatch. So it brings much more dynamic into the gameplay. You have much more to think about. Before you go on that breakout wall, you need to know with your team what is your plan, or defending plan, or your offense plan. We have a new clock system, we have a new penalty system, we have a new point system, and that's the difference. And I really want to see this develop this year, and I hope next year we're going to bring this worldwide.
The reffing for this game is kind of hard because the players are moving a lot.
So we're constantly moving, constantly paying attention to 2, 3, 4 players at the same time, checking lanes, seeing where can the next BB come from. You're listening into the call outs, you're moving accordingly, and it's a lot of physical things to do, but then at the same time your mental has to stay calm.
We have battling, and battling is a new thing where we can get in communication directly with the other refs on the field, and it works perfectly. Normally you have a lot of hiccups now in this moment because you have a direct communication with your head ref and the head ref on the fields with the side refs.
Out, pull him. Yeah, penalty.
Today, yesterday, we have 7 refs. They are split into, let's say, 2 groups. We have the group of the breakout wall refs, so it's 2 refs on either side. They do the breakouts, they stay on the back of the fights. And then we have 3 refs scattered around.
We can communicate real good now. We don't have to run to other refs for confirmation or anything. For example, the head ref, he can see much more because he's a bit higher up and he can direct us. Really helpful to get more overview of the whole gameplay, and communicate for refs is also important as for players.
It's really comfy, it's so easy to use, and yeah, I don't know why we didn't use this earlier. It's amazing. It just makes the job way easier.
Hi guys, my name is Jorik. I'm part of the ref team. Together with Jeffrey, I'm one of the head refs for this tournament and for most other tournaments in Europe as well.
I was brought here by Bert, so we can help organize everything and that we can make the tournament a lot of fun for everyone.
We're trying to build this community, and it's going, it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's getting more like a bigger footprint all over Europe, and like other parts of the world are getting interested as well. This tournament here in the Canary Islands is very cool because it brings a lot of cultures together. Like you have a lot of Spanish teams, of course, you have some British teams, Dutch teams, and I think it's awesome that everybody took the time and the effort to like come here to this amazing island.
I really like the approach you guys are taking, and I can really see it going global. And I definitely want to travel everywhere, like to America, to Australia, and everywhere else where it's popping up.
I think a lot of people are very excited to play this new format, playing the 10-minute games. Well, I think this is the very first big tournament on this scale.
I got a lot of arguments with my boss to get here, but I think it's a chance of once in a lifetime, so I wanted to be here.
I like for the community, it's great. We are growing the speeds of and the competition here in Spain, so for me it's perfect.
Three, two, one.
Hey guys, I'm Bert. I'm the owner of the Ritz Arena. For more than 3 years we organized SpeakB. Well, SpeakB is a really nice format, but I wanted to get away from the team deathmatch situation. We really want to accept it as a sport, and that's why I brought a board together and we created the NSL, the Nations Speed League. NSL is a new concept with a new format that we launched this weekend.
The most challenging part for me right now is mostly getting the players used to the new format, making sure everybody gets the rules, does the things right.
3, 2, 1.
The players progressing and adapting to this new game. You can see that the refs are also adapting and trying to do the best to get the gameplay the best for the players as well.
What I wanted is more a dynamic gameplay where you have, as a defense team, you have to go for offense to defend your time, or you have to defend and get your snatch. So it brings much more dynamic into the gameplay. You have much more to think about. Before you go on that breakout wall, you need to know with your team what is your plan, or defending plan, or your offense plan. We have a new clock system, we have a new penalty system, we have a new point system, and that's the difference. And I really want to see this develop this year, and I hope next year we're going to bring this worldwide.
The reffing for this game is kind of hard because the players are moving a lot.
So we're constantly moving, constantly paying attention to 2, 3, 4 players at the same time, checking lanes, seeing where can the next BB come from. You're listening into the call outs, you're moving accordingly, and it's a lot of physical things to do, but then at the same time your mental has to stay calm.
We have battling, and battling is a new thing where we can get in communication directly with the other refs on the field, and it works perfectly. Normally you have a lot of hiccups, and now in this moment, because you have a direct communication with your head ref and the head ref on the fields with the side refs.
Out, pull him. Yeah, penalty.
Today, yesterday, we have 7 refs. They are split into, let's say, 2 groups. We have the group of the breakout wall refs, so it's 2 refs on either side. They do the breakouts, they stay on the back of the fights. And then we have 3 refs scattered around.
We can communicate real good now. We don't have to run to other refs for confirmation or anything. For example, the head ref, he can see much more because he's a bit higher up and he can direct us. It's really helpful to get more overview of the whole gameplay, and communicate for refs is also important as for players.
It's really comfy, it's so easy to use, and yeah, I don't know why we didn't use this earlier. It's amazing. It just makes the job way easier.